must have been making a lemon squeezer.
Lemon squeezer?
She smelt of lemons.
Textured?
She was as sour as a lemon.
Right, 1 pound clay, and I open it right to the wheel head, so we've got a ring of clay.
So that's gone right down, is
Right
it?
down
To the
here.
bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I divide this ring roughly sort of 1/3 inside and 2/3 outside. And the tricky thing usually with lemon squeezers is, again, thinking of the cross section, because it's really got to be even all the way through. You're effectively really sort of glazing it on one side, and so, which makes it get even more important that the cross section is seen. So where I use my thumb on the outside here to get underneath the clay, I use my finger on the inside there so there's not excess clay left on the inside. And repeatedly go back under there as I make it thinner so it can get right underneath this clay.
How do you know when you've got to the right height, Douglas?
Sorry?
How do you know when you've got to the right height?
How do I?
No, when you've got to the right height with that, or is that variable?
Yeah, I suppose it's variable. It's I mean, my lemon squeezers, you could probably squeeze an orange on them as well. But again, it's more important is the shape of this cone, I think. So it's you know, it would fit inside a lemon or inside an orange.
And you're going to cut grooves in it, aren't you? So it's going to be quite thick, hasn't it?
Yeah, the grooves aren't really that deep, and they, you know, I was saying earlier on in the week about being careful when you do cut into the clay that you don't make it very uneven. Well, you're kind of deliberately making it uneven on this,
Yeah.
but it sort of matters a bit less because you're only glazing it on one side, and it's, as it were, the outside. So when this gets wet from glaze, it can expand out. If it's something that you have cut, say you fluted the outside of it and you glaze the inside,
okay.
that expands and that puts extra strain on the outside that's uneven. Whereas I never have. They may well crack around the bottom if you haven't got a good cross section, but I've never had them crack where the cutting is.
So you have to be careful about the depth of the trough around the edge.
Depth of the
where the juice goes, because it might crack if the outside's not
because here again you are glazing, as it were, the inside of a bowl. And it's not glazed on the bottom or the inside of that bit, so you know there are stresses and strains there. I mean, that's kind of one of the things I like too about the raw glazing is it because of this way that it responds to difference in thicknesses. It's a kind of discipline you can't get away from. It's just better that the pot is well thrown, even section. With biscuit par things, you can get away with an awful lot of things that are wrong, and you can't do that with raw glazing. And as I said, there's so many pots that we look at in museums were made by part-time potters, and more that's how potting seems to be going again. That it's part-time potters that are making the pots that are about, but it's very noticeable that standards seem to sort of slip with modern part-time potters. And you kind of think, what's the difference between those very high standards that potters made centuries ago, where they didn't need, why did they need a high standard? Where did it come from? And you kind of think, well, one thing are the techniques they were using. Once flower pots have just got to be made that much well, they don't survive. but there must be quite a few other things as well.
Status.
Yeah, they didn't have the choice. Well, in Maison they didn't have choices. You kind of made with what you had there, and that restricted what you did. Whereas nowadays, you can kind of do anything. Yes. Yeah. And you think too, probably your neighbours came into it. If you were a farming, next door somebody was making something, and that there was a rivalry or a pride or something that kind of grew. Whereas people now are working in their back garden and are well away from other people, and that must come into it too. Right. I do these in different ways, but this is one of the ones with a thickened rim, so I'm going to have pouring lip out of this, so I'm going to pinch out a bit that's going to be the right thickness. So I'm pinching this so it ends up the same thickness as the rest of the pot rather than the thickness of the thickened rim. And when you're doing pinched rims, you always get that slightly ragged bit after you've done that, so where the chamois leather comes in. Smooth that down, and supporting that pull, that surge. Okay, you can't lift that off in the conventional way because you can't get hold of it anyway. So I use a peeling technique. So I just lift it, so I put my fingers underneath it, and then when I put it down, reverse the action, it usually takes up the
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a bit off.
It does.
I'm glad you approve.
It's a keeper.
And then I'll show how I cut those with a turning tool when it's rather hard.